on there. They're right behind that curtain.
Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. I'm very excited to have you here. This is our, I don't know what annual cookie stroll, but I would say it's a good 5 years. I know some of you have said tonight that you've been here before. We've made cheese, we've had a sweet Katah demonstration. This is Katah. My 3 favorite Armenian foods, manti, which we demonstrated several years ago, sweet Katah, and then Katah, which for those of you who are not Armenian, I would say that you could compare it to croissants. It's really the only way I can describe it. But before I turn it over to Stephanie Masoyan, our chef of the evening, whom I'm sure you all know from the Deli on Roll Square in Cranston, who is also the chairman of our Women's Guild. All of the cookies that you see displayed there are made by not only members of the Women's Guild of the church, but parishioners of the church who are not members but made cookies and made donations and came tonight. And so we have a wonderful assortment, which I'll talk to you about a little bit later. But what I'd like to do first is I just want to read a note from our priest Shonor. He is unable to be here, and he sent us in a message. Here it is, which will only take a second. Here we go. Dear friends and faithful of our church and community, I hope you have a wonderful evening tonight at our Women's Guild Cookie Stroll. This has been one of the great events. Oops. Thank you, technology. Here we go. All right. This has been one of the great events of the Christmas season, and I am very sorry that I will not be able to be with you tonight, as I had a previous engagement, which he is actually at an event honoring one of our parishioners at CCRI, so he couldn't be here with us. Take the delicious goodies home and enjoy the Katah and fellowship, and have a great time. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas, and look forward to see you all again real soon. God bless you. With love, Jedhard and Yeditskin Julie soon. Yeditskin made cookies and sent them, but she couldn't be here, which she's disappointed, and so are we. So I'd like, at least at this time, to turn the microphone over to Stephanie Masoyan, who will demonstrate for you how to make Katah. There are many different ways and different methods to make it. She's going to talk to you about kind of what we did to make what we're going to serve tonight. There will be some for sale, which again I'll talk to you about again at the end. So with no further ado, Stephanie Masoyan.
Hello, everybody. Thank you again. Welcome to Sts Sahag and Mesrob Church. I know almost everybody here. Nice to see all these familiar faces. We're going to talk to you about Katah tonight. Now, another word for Katah is palhaj. I think someone can help me. That's the Turkish word. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So some of you may have remembered that from growing up. So Katah is basically a breakfast bread. You can obviously have it any time, but primarily nice, light breakfast, like Joyce said, equivalent of a croissant. It's been made through the years, through the ages, and as all of you, or most of you know, Armenian foods are so laborious. Easy to make, but so time-consuming. So hopefully tonight, I've tried to make this so that it's easy and doable. You know, a lot of people are afraid of a yeast dough. So simple, we're going to make this so simple for you to do. Very simple, very easy. Okay, on your recipe, the way that it's written here, if you want to make it easier, which is what I'm all about, is there's the traditional long way, and then there's the way to cut things down a little bit, make it a little easier. I'm very happy that there's this many people here. Most people are out Christmas shopping, decorating. That's a busy time of year, so got to make things simple and easy. That's what I'm all about. Okay, so the way that I would normally do this, the recipe is written in one way. I would do it in 3 separate stages. I mix one batch with, not one batch, excuse me, one pan, your half, on this recipe, the ½ pound of butter, not a whole pound, a ½ pound of butter, the can of evaporated milk, and a cup of milk. Warm that up on the stove together, put it aside. The rest of the ingredients, minus the flour, put in a bowl, whisk it all up with a whip. The yeast inside, the yeast needs the sugar to help it rise. But these days, all the yeast is all double activated. It's so simple. Put it all in a bowl, whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it. You're done. Then you're going to mix your warm butter slowly into your eggs, then add your flour. I mean, it's so easy. Traditionally what they've done is you've taken your yeast and you put it with the sugar and the water and you let it sit. Then you take your eggs and you whip. No. Very simple. You take your butter, milk, evaporated milk, warm that up. The rest of the ingredients, put it together. Whip up the eggs, all the other stuff, then add your flour gradually. Your dough will be nice and elastic. Like it's not like a cake dough or like a stollen, you know, the German bread. You don't want it like a soft dough. You want it to be elastic. So you're going to knead it until it's good and elastic. And then, the rest of the directions you'll see. You divide it up into your 8 balls, let it rise again for another ½ hour, then you're ready to go. So what I'll show you is how to roll it out, and here's where size does matter. Thin, 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 thin. The thinner you roll the dough out, the more flaky and the more layers you'll get. If you can't roll it out that thin, that's okay. It'll just be not as flaky, right? Not as flaky. But it'll still taste wonderful because you're going to put a lot of butter in it. And that's the best part. And you can't skip. There's no way to make this diet. So as I'm doing this, Missy's going to hold the microphone for me. And if you have any questions, I'll just raise your hand.
Don't hesitate.
Yes. Yeah. I just out of habit, I usually put them in first, but you don't have to. You can just throw the eggs, the little bit of sugar, baking powder, all the stuff in, and just whip it all together. Now, let me just do one more thing. You'll see this here. This is a dowel. This is the old-fashioned way. I never really learned how to do this. I think you do this, right? Melanie knows how to do this. Linda knows how to do this. I don't know who else knows how to do this. But I don't have the patience to do this. Quick and easy, again, my motto. So instead, I use a 5-pound rolling pin. It makes it much easier, much faster. So, anyway, let's start. A little bit of flour on the table. Now the recipe says to break it up into 8 balls, depending on the size of the katahs you want to make. I've made them into a little bit bigger ones so that it'll feed more people. But if you have a few people in the house, you make it smaller and put them in the freezer. They freeze very well, and you can use it for whatever. All right, so we're going to start.
See, if you're in the back and you want to just come stand on the side so you can see better, be our guest.
And as I'm rolling this, it doesn't matter afterwards what it looks like. So if it's not perfect, there are some people that everything, it has to be a perfect circle, there can't be a hole in it. No, once it's out, you're going to put your butter on it, roll it up. It's going to look gorgeous once you're done. Trust me. Yeah.
We're not going to use this one, okay? We're going to eat this.
So if you can see, and if you can't see, please don't hesitate to come up and take a peek. I've rolled it out this big, but yet it's still not big enough. You can do it like this, and it'll be perfectly fine to put your butter on now. But again, the wider it is, the better. And I just want to show you. If you pick it up, you can just see the dough is really elastic, and you want to get it nice and thin. You can and you want to get it as thin, like I can start to see the table through the dough. So I guess you could say it's kind of like how you would do a strudel almost. Now we'll do method one. We're going to do 3 different ones to show you. Okay. This is traditional. Now we'll take our butter, which I'm not sure if the recipe says, but you do want to clarify it. And don't be cheap with the butter. Unsalted. If you don't have unsalted butter, that's fine. You can use the salted and just remove the foam from the top and don't use the milk solids in the bottom. Okay, so now that, if you can see, the butter is very, very generous on here. Okay. Clog those arteries right up. Take the Lipitor, we'll be fine. Okay, so now what you're going to do is roll it up like a jelly roll. You want to roll it up on the tight side. Is there anybody who doesn't mind getting their hands dirty who would like to give me a little assistance? Come on up. So now that we've rolled this out, we want to stretch it to make it even longer. Okay, so come on this side, if you don't mind. Do you want to wear some? Do you want to wear gloves? Okay. Now, we're going to feed it. If it breaks, it doesn't matter. All right, so now we've elongated this. And now we're going to start to roll. Actually, yeah, so this will be the middle. And you're going to roll it just like how you would roll a cheddar. And then just tuck the little end underneath, and that's it. Thank you. I'll keep a towel here if you like. Right here. And now this will grow to be about at least I would say a 10 or 12 inch round. So what we'll do is we'll leave this now, and even before this is over, you'll see it'll start to rise. Before you put it in the oven, you want to flatten it down a little bit, either with your hand or with the rolling pin, because in the oven it'll rise again. And then brush it with egg. And if you like sesame seeds, you can put sesame seeds on or not. Bake it till it's golden brown, and then enjoy. Now I have two more. I'm going to show you two different ways. Does anyone want to try and play with the dough? You're welcome to. The question was asked if you need to put flour on it. If you need to, absolutely. It doesn't make a difference. If you put it on, that's fine. Put it on top or on the bottom, wherever you think you need it. If you put too much on the bottom, sometimes it slides around. It's minimal. The butter is clarified, yes.
How do you clarify butter?
You clarify butter when you melt it. The easiest way is to melt it in the microwave. Melt it slowly. When you do, the milk solids go to the bottom and the white foam goes on the top. You want to skim that foam off the top and use only the golden yellow part. Don't use the white milk solids in the bottom. You want just that pure butter. Beautiful. Look at this. Picture perfect. Okay, so now we're going to try a different method. Well, we're still going to put the ball of butter on it. This is a different method. This is, I think, Linda's grandmother's method. Strips like this. And keep cutting. And what you'll do is we'll put the strips on top of each other. We're going to slap this as well. Now what we're going to do is roll it up this way. You've got it like this. Yeah. Now this, you'll need to definitely flatten that out, otherwise it will be this high. Although that's not such a bad thing either.
watching my phone too.
Yeah, it's rolling like this. So this one you'll cut in wider segments and you'll stack them as well, but instead of rolling it, you're going to fold it. These are about, what's that, 3 inches maybe? Each other like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually fold it. Now, that's not actually terrific, but it's supposed to look like a triangle. Put a little too much butter. And then this is yeah, like a chicken, like almost like a butt egg shape. And same thing, you pat it down and put the seeds on it if you like it. Now, some people I know when they've opened it up, they put like a what is filling in it. Like you can put like nuts and cinnamon sugar, or you can put chopped apricots or raisins, and you can get as creative as you like if you want to do that. Put a little twist on it. Anybody have any other questions? I mean, it really, was it hard, Alex? No, it's just, you can't be afraid of time. Yes, time consuming, yes. Yes, Kim. Kim has a question. Oh, really? In squares? Okay.
That made it pull and chop
Oh, like a pull and job?
rather than a chodak. It's like more like a triangle, like a diamond shape or an angle.
No, it's squid.
All right, but it's
She wants to lay it the pot.
Well, it depends too on like what area your ancestors came from too, how they each had their different variations. Anyone have any other questions? Yes. Absolutely. She wanted to go over the 3 easy steps. So easy, so easy. Nice. The first, do your warm. You'll do just half a pound of the butter, because the other half is going to be to put on the dough. The milk and the evaporated milk. So you want to warm that together. You don't want it hot. You just want it warm, because if it's too hot, it's going to kill the yeast. So warm that up, set that aside. Then in a big bowl, you'll mix all your other ingredients except your flour. Just put it all in there, whisk it up really good with a whisk. If you have an electric beater, you can beat it so it gets nice and frothy. Including the yeast. Yep, everything together goes right in. The yeast, the baking powder, the eggs, what else? The salt. Put that all in, and then you're going to slowly add your butter into your eggs. And then once that's incorporated by hand, use the add your flour in. Unless if you're using like a mixer, use the dough hook element on that. Any other questions? And you can have it with cheese, or you can have it with jam, or you can have it with olives, or you can have it with fruit, or more butter. Yes, another question. Yes. Yes, also clarified. But inside the dough, inside you don't have to make it clarified. Just what you're going to drizzle on. Yes. Question? Pretty much, yeah. If you find that it's you don't want it too sticky. Just add it until it's nice and elastic, until it comes off your hands, yeah. I used a dry yeast because I keep it in the refrigerator, it stays forever, and it's just easier for me to do that. What? Yeah, the Fleischmann's yeast, 3 come in the package, yeah. Yeah. Yes, Debbie?
Before going to add the chocolate cream, how much?
I can't even give you an amount. Whatever fills your circle. But you don't want it too much, because if you put too much, it's going to make your dough really heavy. So go sparingly. Anybody else? Yes. To put cheese, you can put cheese in it. You can put like a Munster cheese, or you can even put string cheese. Yeah, even delicious. Anybody else? I think that's it. That's it. That's all there is. I'll have Joyce come out and she'll give you the instructions for the cookies, and then, like she said, afterwards we are going to have some katah that you can purchase.